Hello, I'm your host, Monique.
And I'm your co-host, John. We'd like to welcome you to Getting Started in Sign Language. This program is designed to help you learn sign language, the native language of deaf people. You'll learn signs, vocabulary of sign, and how to communicate using sign language. Now, when I sign, my signs follow the order of English sentences, but I notice that when you sign, your signs don't follow English at all.
That's right. I'm signing American Sign Language, ASL. ASL is a language with its own structure. ASL uses space and movement to express even the most complex idea. Deaf people use ASL when they talk with one another. Hearing people usually prefer to use signs, the vocabulary of ASL, in English word order because it's easier for them. In this program, I'll sign ASL, but you'll hear the interpreter translate what I sign into English.
But the most important thing is that we communicate. We understand each other.
That's right. I can understand your signs used in English word order. Deaf people appreciate that hearing people make the attempt to communicate.
So let's go ahead and talk about what we'll learn in the first part. First, we'll learn signs for family members and people. Later, we'll learn signs for pronouns.
To help learn the signs for people and family members, it's helpful to know that many signs for males are formed near the forehead, while the signs for females are made near the chin.
That is a helpful hint. It's also helpful for you to know that all signs have distinctive hand shapes. For example, open, C, H, and others. These hand shapes are normally the same hand shapes that represent the letters of the manual alphabet.
That's right. You can use the manual alphabet to spell words, such as your name, but we'll learn about that later. When you watch the Perkins family plan for their family reunion, you will notice that they mention that a sign is made with an A hand or a C hand.
Every sign has 4 aspects that are unique to that sign. Hand shape is one of these 4. Later, we'll learn the other 3 aspects.
Now let's watch the Perkins family. Afterward, we'll come back and learn how to form pronouns and occupations.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm looking at old photo albums.
Oh, my God, who are all these people?
Well, they're pictures of my family, and over here your dad's family. You know, we'll invite a lot of these people to our family reunion next summer.
Is Uncle Jack coming?
Well, yes, my brother Jack is planning to come. Hey, you know, since he is deaf, it would be really nice if you would learn some signs to communicate with him.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. I would love to learn sign for next summer so I could talk to Uncle Jack. Could we maybe start with signs for family members? Because I don't know them at all.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Look, I will show you each sign. And I'll tell you something about it, and then you make the sign as I show you.
Okay.
All right. The best signs are learned, I think, in pairs, male and female, like mother and father.
Mother, father.
Mother and father are identical, except that the female sign is done down here by the chin, and the male sign is done up by the forehead.
Okay.
So mother, father.
Okay. Mother, father. Okay.
Let's think of another pair. Oh, I know. Grandmother. Grandmother starts right up where mother is, and then moves away one generation. Grandmother.
Grandmother.
And grandfather starts right where father was, and moves away a generation. Grandfather.
Okay. Grandmother, grandfather. I understand. All right.
Now, a really useful thing to remember is that each letter of the manual alphabet has a particular hand shape. And cousin uses the C hand.
Okay.
So if you're talking about a female cousin like
Suzanne, cousin Suzanne.
Yes. You shake the C hand down near the chin. Cousin. But if you're talking about a male cousin like
Roger.
cousin Roger, you would
Best.
shake your C hand up by the forehead.
Okay. Cousin for a girl
Right.
and cousin for a boy. Cousin, cousin.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Now, there are 4 more signs that are done in exactly the same way, except that they use a different hand shape every
Okay.
time. The A hand for aunt,
And
the U hand for uncle,
uncle.
and niece and nephew are both done with the N hand,
Okay.
but nephew shakes up by the forehead,
Nephew,
and niece shakes down by the chin.
niece. Okay. Aunt, uncle, niece, and nephew. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
That's right. Okay, the next pair of signs, they don't look alike, but the male sign is still signed up by the forehead, and the female sign is still done down by the chin.
Okay.
Okay, first is boy. Kind of looks like the brim of a cap, a boy holding the bill. Boy. And girl is done down by the chin. Girl. Some people think it looks like the thumb is following the strings that used to tie under the chin of a, old-fashioned bonnet.
That's sweet.
Boy,
Boy,
girl.
girl. Okay. I've got that. Boy, girl. All right.
Now, baby is easy because it looks just like a baby. Yeah. But it's an important sign to know because you use the sign baby in many compound signs. And compound signs are signs that are made up of a combination of 2 signs. For example, daughter. Daughter is girl and baby, and it becomes daughter. Or son is boy and baby, and it becomes son.
Okay. So, son, daughter.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Okay, another pair. And these are compound signs too. Brother, which is boy and same, and sister, which is girl and same. And what the same means is that the boy and girl are in the same family. So you have brother and sister.
Okay. Brother and sister. So it's boy, same, brother, girl, same is sister. Yeah?
Yes.
Great.
Now you need to know the signs for man and woman. Man starts up where boy starts, but then it continues to move down to the chest to sign polite. Man. And, you can imagine that the old ruffles that were on those old-fashioned shirts that men and women wore. So, man.
Man.
And woman is the same. It starts from girl, and it moves down to the chest to where polite is. Woman.
Okay. Man. Woman.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, husband and wife.
Yes.
That's a compound sign, but I want to teach you first the sign for marry,
Okay.
which is the 2 hands coming together.
That's
Right?
pretty.
You know how people join their
that's
hands
pretty.
when they're married? Yes. So you circle a little bit and it's marry. Now, husband starts with up there for boy, moves down to marry. Husband.
Husband.
And wife starts from the girl hand place and moves down to marry.
Wife. Okay.
Right. Husband, wife.
Husband. Wife. Okay.
Great
right.
job.
Is that it? Do we do all of the family members?
I think so.
Wow. It's really easy when you know what all the little parts of the signs mean.
Yes.
That's
yes.
great. Thanks,
Oh,
Mom.
there's one more sign I want to teach you.
Yeah.
The sign for family.
Oh.
Use both F hands, and you make a circle in the air. Family. Yeah. So, next summer at our family reunion, we will have a great time.
Thank you.
The Perkins will have a great family reunion. They'll invite all of their family members to come.
Let me show how to sign pronouns when talking about people or things not within view. For example, I want to talk about Mrs. Perkins and her daughter Melanie. Since neither of them are here, I can pretend they are here and set up a space for each of them in front of me, Mrs. Perkins here and Melanie here. Now I can talk about each of them. I can point here to designate she when I talk about Melanie, like she looked at the albums. Or if I mean Mrs. Perkins, like she planned the family reunion, I can point here to designate she.
That's very efficient. You can use space to designate where a person or thing is, and then you can point to that space. If you're talking about both of them, you can point to both spaces to mean they or them.
But you can use signs for pronouns if the person or the thing is within view. I will show you the pronoun signs. They are easy to learn. First, here are the personal pronouns. They are made mostly by pointing. Me or I, they, them, he, she, or it, us, you, you. And now here are the possessive pronouns. They are made with an open hand. Theirs, his, hers, its, yours, yours, ours. And finally, here are the reflexive pronouns. They are made by pushing the extended thumb at the person or thing. Myself, themselves, himself, herself, itself, yourself, yourselves, ourselves.
I'd like to demonstrate the American manual alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Fingerspelling is using the manual alphabet to spell out words. Deaf people use fingerspelling to spell out people's names and to spell words that have no sign. Sometimes deaf people use fingerspelling for emphasis or to be sure that a sign is clear and understood. To fingerspell, hold your hand in front of your shoulder and move smoothly from letter to letter. T-A-Y-L-O-R, Taylor. Now, don't say the letters as you spell it. Say the word after spelling it. Grace. Now, if a word has a double letter, bounce your hand slightly when forming the double letters. Danny. Fingerspelling will help you when you're learning sign language. You can fingerspell anything that you don't know the sign for. Practice fingerspelling whenever you can.
Before we finish this part about signs for people, we want to show you how to form the signs for occupations.
Many occupations are formed with an important ending on the sign, often called person marker. Sign language uses markers for a variety of purposes, and we'll learn a few applications as we go along. The person marker is formed like this. The open hands follow the sides of the body.
In English, the person marker serves the same function as ER in the word teacher, or IST in the word artist. One of these two examples, the root word is a verb, and the other is a noun, and the ending indicates that it is a job. In sign language, first you sign the verb teach, and then add the person marker, teacher. For artist, first you sign the noun, art, and then add the person marker, artist.
Here are a few occupations so you can see how the person marker works. I'll show the verb sign, and John will put the verb together with the person marker to form the occupation. Camera.
Photographer.
Write.
Writer.
Sell.
Salesperson.
Serve.
Waiter or waitress.
Army.
Soldier.
Haircut.
Barber.
Law.
Lawyer.
Learn.
Student.
Hello again. In this part, we're going to learn some important everyday signs for things around the home. You'll learn signs for rooms, furniture, and action verbs.
We'll watch Nicole and Amy as they clean their apartment. They're roommates, and they're getting ready for friends to come over and watch TV. Nicole is deaf, and she teaches Amy signs.
It would be helpful to know the sign for room before we begin. Room is the same sign as box. Room, box. Room shows the walls of a room, which is the same shape as box.
And here's the sign for house. You see how the hands show the shape of the roof and the walls? House. And the sign for home is formed like this. Home. The sign shows the place where you eat and sleep. Home.
And this is wall, and this is floor. Those signs show the flatness of the walls and floor.
And the signs for window and door show a window opening and a door opening. Window, door.
Those signs will be helpful when talking about a house. Now let's watch Nicole and Amy. After that, we'll look at prepositions, which tell the location of a person or a thing. Come on, Amy, let's clean up. We don't have a lot of time before everyone gets here.
Okay, I'll help, but I want you to show me some more signs. I need to improve my sign language so I can talk with your deaf friends.
Your signs are getting better all the time. But okay, I'll teach you signs. And then we'll clean the house together.
You've got a deal.
Fair enough. Here we go. Table. Polish the table.
Table. Polish. Table.
Chair. Table and chair. What's interesting is to compare chair with the verb sit. Chair is formed with a small double movement. Sit is made the same way, but it has a single movement. Chair, sit.
Sit. chair.
There are many noun-verb pairs like this. Usually the noun has a double movement and the verb has a single movement, but not always.
That's interesting. Sit, chair. Can you show me another noun-verb pair like that?
Oh, I know. Eat and food. See, eat is formed with one movement, and food has two movements.
Eat, food, sit, chair. What's the sign for sofa?
Sofa, or couch. It's a compound sign. That is, it's made up of two signs that have combined over time. Sit and a marker that shows the shape of a couch.
That's neat. Couch. Sit plus the shape of a couch. Why don't we sit on the chair and practice more signs? What's the sign for furniture?
Furniture is made with F hands. Furniture.
Furniture, that's easy enough. What about light or lamp?
Oh, actually, those are separate signs. Lamp looks like the light shining down under a lampshade, but light doesn't seem to look like anything. You just have to remember light.
Light and lamp. What about different rooms of the house? What's the sign for living room?
Okay. Living room. It's polite plus room. Living room. And dining room is eat and room. Dining room. Bedroom is bed plus room. Bedroom. Bathroom. You use bath, a natural sign, and room. But if you want to say restroom, use an R hand and you bounce it down slightly twice to abbreviate restroom. Restroom. I think that's all of the rooms. Oh, except the kitchen. Kitchen. I left it for last because it's different from the other rooms. This is the kitchen. It's like the sign for cook. So you have the sign for cook and substitute a K hand into the sign.
Okay, let's see if I can remember them all. Living room, dining room, bedroom, bathroom, restroom, and kitchen.
I'm impressed. You're a quick learner. I'm going to show you a few signs for action verbs that you might need to know, and then we'd better clean the house. Oh, that's a good sign. Clean. It looks like you're brushing away the dirt. Clean.
Clean. Show me some more verbs. I don't think I'll talk about cleaning the house with your friends.
Okay. Pay attention because I'm going to show you the signs for 6 verbs. Are you ready? Find. See. Play. Use. Look at. Wait.
Oh, that's easy. Find, see, look at, use, play, wait. How about showing me some more verbs?
Okay, here are 6 more verbs. And then we really got to get to work. Rest, get, sweep, fix, wash, keep.
They're getting harder now. Let's see if I can remember. Rest, get, sweep, fix, wash, keep.
Great job. And now let's see if you can do a great job cleaning this house. That's a lot of information we've covered. Let's review prepositions too.
I think it's easier to learn prepositions in pairs of opposites. So let's try it. You show the preposition, and I'll show the opposite.
On,
Off,
over,
under,
in front of,
behind,
to,
from,
in,
out,
with.
without.
Most signs are formed in a centralized area near the upper chest for ease of view. Some signs may be formed as high at the top of the head and as low as the upper hip. For example, hat and dog. Over time, signs have moved in from the sides to see them better. A few signs are still formed near the elbow, like cracker and bridge. Most signs are formed in front of the chest in what is called neutral space. Signs are easy to form and easy to see in neutral space. Question words are all formed in neutral space. When asking a question, the question word can either be at the beginning or at the end of the sentence. Now, I will show you the question signs. Be sure and raise your eyebrows and lower your chin when asking a question. What? Where? Who? When? How? Which? How much? How many? And this is the sign for question.
In this part, Mrs. Perkins takes Melanie to the doctor for an examination. The nurse learns signs for body parts, symptoms, and treatments.
Signs for medical situations are very important. Deaf people have a right to have an interpreter present for any medical interaction, but sometimes there's not enough time for the interpreter to arrive in an emergency.
And sometimes the deaf person is too ill or hurt to write notes to the doctor or nurse.
So let's show some signs for some illnesses.
Sure. First is the sign for deaf. This sign points to the ear and mouth, deaf. And blind, as if poking out the eyes, blind.
How about heart attack and pneumonia? Heart attack, pneumonia.
Cold and faint.
Pregnant and sick.
Let's watch our story now, and later we'll come back and learn a very special characteristic of some signs related to medical situations. I'm glad you're here.
I'm happy you let me come with you to your annual physical examination. I want to hear what the doctor says about how you're tired all the time. And I'll be able to interpret for you what the doctor says. It's too bad doctors and nurses don't know sign language.
Hi. You know what? I agree with you. I think it's important to have communication between two people instead of through a third person, which is why I really want to learn sign language. You need to go down the hall for a chest x-ray, and while you're gone, I'll have your mom show me some signs so I can learn sign language.
Great. When I come back, I'll test you and see how much you've learned.
Okay. I was serious about learning sign language. I would appreciate it if you'd show me some signs I can use here on the job. I think signs for emergencies are really important.
It's my pleasure. And I guess signs that would tell you what's wrong with someone would be the first things you'd need to know. Okay, I'll show you a few signs, and then you can show them back to me. You ready?
Ready. I think signs related to a person's symptoms are really important.
Okay. Most of these can be asked as a question simply by raising your eyebrows and widening your eyes. For example, dizzy can be asked as a question. Dizzy? Do you want to try it?
Okay. Dizzy? How's that?
Good, you've got the idea. Okay, now I'll show you several symptoms. Upset.
Upset. Okay.
Vomit.
Vomit.
Good. Cough.
Cough.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Hurt.
Hurt.
Sick.
Sick.
Temperature.
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 Great. Now, parts of the body are simple. Mostly, they are done by pointing. So let's start with some pointing signs.
Okay.
Eyes.
Eyes.
Nose.
Nose.
Teeth.
Teeth.
Tongue.
Tongue.
Stomach.
Stomach.
Feet.
Feet.
Knees.
Knees.
Elbow.
Elbow. Easy enough.
The rest of the parts of the body are pretty simple too.
Okay.
Body.
Body.
Head.
Head.
Face.
Face.
Mouth.
Mouth.
Ear.
Ear.
Back.
Back.
Arm.
Arm.
Hands.
Hands. Easy enough.
Great, you're doing great. Now I'll show you some treatments before Nicole gets back. Okay, medicine. Medicine, it's kind of like the old-fashioned way of grinding with a mortar and pestle. Medicine. Pills. Shot or injection, which is pretty much mime. Then operate or surgery. Ready to try them? Okay.
Medicine. Pills. Injection. Surgery. Wow, that's a lot. I better check on Nicole, see how she's doing. I can't wait to show her what I learned. Thank you.
Oh, sure.
Good for that nurse for trying to learn sign language.
Absolutely. She will be much more effective in her job with deaf patients. Now I want to show you a few other signs that can be useful in medical situations. Doctor, nurse, and medical are initialized signs, formed the same way, but using a different handshake. D, doctor. N, nurse. And M, medical.
Here's the sign for hospital. Hospital. Notice hospital is formed like patient. And this is ambulance, with the light on top of the ambulance. Ambulance.
These are other signs that may be helpful. Healthy, help, and health. Now, weren't you going to show some special kinds of verbs that can be used in medical situations?
Yes, some verbs are locational, in that you form the sign near where the ailment occurs. For example, the sign for hurt. This is an earache. This is a stomach ache. And if I sign this, then I'm saying that I have a sore throat.
That's a very useful way to sign. Then this sign must mean headache.
You definitely got the idea. The sign for surgery or operate is similar. If I sign it here, then I mean that I will have stomach surgery. This is surgery on the elbow, and it doesn't mean that I need brain surgery.
That's great. Are there other signs that are locational?
Well, yes, you can place a bandage wherever you need it.
Every sign has 4 parts. Let me show you a few examples. Handshape, such as C, R, X, open, flattened O. Palm orientation, such as down, forward, in, up. Location, in front of the chest, near the forehead, by the chin, on the back of the left hand. And movement, up, forward, downward in an arc, back. Let's look at a one-hand sign and describe it with all 4 parts. Lonely. The hand shape is a 1. Palm orientation is left. Location on the chin, and the movement downward slowly. Lonely. Now let's try a 2-hand sign. Rock. Hand shape for the left hand, S. For the right hand, S. Palm orientation, both palms facing down, and the location in neutral space in front of the chest. The movement, right hand taps on the back of the left hand. Rock.
We're back. I hope you're doing well in your sign language lessons. Just like any language, it takes commitment and practice to become fluent.
But even more important, it helps to have a friend to sign with so that you learn both how to sign for yourself and how to read the other person when they sign.
Best of all, you will learn faster if you can find a deaf person to sign with. Then you will learn correctly and naturally.
In this part, you'll see Amy and Nicole preparing for a picnic. They'll be concentrating on signs for food, drinks, and other things related to eating.
You will see that the signs they practice all have hand shapes, like all signs do. As we mentioned earlier, often the hand shape is the shape of a letter from the American manual alphabet, like a C hand or an M hand. What you will notice is sometimes that hand shape corresponds with the first letter of the English word that is used to translate it.
We postponed mentioning this because it's tempting to equate signs with English words instead of with concepts for which it stands. We want to warn you that signs stand for concepts, not words. But we'll learn more about that later.
So when a sign has the hand shape of the English word that is used to translate it, we say the sign is an initialized sign. For example, rose. That is an initialized sign using an R hand shape for the English word rose. Many signs are initialized signs. Some of these signs are natural signs from American Sign Language, but many initialized signs were invented by deaf or hearing people to name new technology and terms, and also to distinguish between items that formerly used the same sign.
It's best to show you some examples so that you understand exactly what initialized signing is. This is the sign for way. It's also the sign for street, road, and path, and other similar roadways. You can see that it would be helpful to be able to talk about a path and not have the other person think you were talking about a street. That's where using an initialized sign can help. For way, the initialized sign has a W hand shape. For street, the S hand shape. For road, the R hand shape. And for path, the P hand shape.
Perfect examples: way, street, road, path. But the original sign for way is still perfectly good as well.
If you remember in the first part of the program, when Mrs. Perkins and Melanie were planning the family reunion, Mrs. Perkins taught Melanie the sign for family. Actually, family is an initialized sign from the sign for class. There are more initialized signs formed like class. For example, group, organization, society, and team.
It's very tempting to start to initialize every sign, but don't do it. Leave inventing new signs to deaf people. After all, it's their language and they know the rules.
So let's go ahead and watch Nicole and Amy as they get ready for their picnic. When they're finished, we'll come back and we'll review the signs for weather. Let's hope Nicole and Amy have good weather.
It's difficult to know what kinds of foods everyone will like on the picnic.
I know. We'll have hot dogs and hamburgers, but I think we should take along sandwiches.
Hot dog? That's a cute sign. It looks like little lengths of hot dogs. And hamburger? That looks like you're making a hamburger patty.
Right. Sausage and bacon are made with similar movements to hot dog.
Hot dog, sausage, and bacon. What other foods are there? Meat. Can you show me meat and bread?
Meat, like you're grabbing a piece of meat. Bread, like you're slicing bread. This is the sign for French fries. It's an abbreviation, FF, French fries. Oh yes, potato, like you're testing with a fork to see if the potato is done. Potato.
Let me see. Meat, bread, French fries, and potato.
Here we have vegetables and salad. Oh, see, it's like tossing a salad.
Vegetables and salad. What other kinds of foods?
Pancake. It's like flipping over a pancake. And syrup. Looks like you're wiping syrup off your lips. Toast. Butter. Jelly. And egg. Looks like you're breaking open an egg.
Okay. Toast, butter, jelly, eggs, pancake, and syrup.
Oh, what about some drinks? Oh, here we are. Okay, first of all, drink is another noun-verb pair. Drink, used as a verb, like drink your milk, has a long movement. But drink, as a noun, has a short double movement, like would you like a drink? Okay, so here we have some drinks. Water, milk, coffee, tea, and soda.
water, milk, coffee, tea, soda. What about desserts, my favorite part of the meal?
Dessert. You tap two D hands together. Dessert. Cookie, like using a cookie cutter. Oh, cake, like cutting slices of a cake. Pie, like slicing the pie. Ice cream, mime eating an ice cream cone. And popcorn, looks like kernels of popcorn popping.
Those are so clear, and you make them so easy with your clues. Okay, let's try this. Dessert, cookie, cake, pie, ice cream, and popcorn. All right, now we better get to work and pack this picnic basket.
Oh, don't forget the salt and pepper. It's time to learn signs for the weather, just as we promised. First, let me show you the sign for weather. It's an initialized sign.
Let's go ahead and talk about temperature. It is cold, hot, warm, or cool.
Then, of course, you'll want to know if there will be sun or sunshine, or clouds, or rain, or snow.
And let's learn the signs for seasons. Winter. That's the same as cold. Then there's summer, like wiping the sweat off your brow. Fall, if you let your left arm be a tree, then it shows the leaves falling off the tree. And finally, spring, which is the noun sign made almost the same as the sign for the verb grow, except spring is made with a double movement, and grow is made with a single movement.
Now for some more severe weather. Wind and storm. Tornado and hurricane. See how the more severe weather is made stronger? And here's flood. That's a compound sign of water and showing the water rising. Flood. And after the flood, here is the rainbow.
The time of day in sign language is expressed by showing the movement of the sun over the horizon. Here is the horizon. Now imagine my right arm is the sun, and it is coming up in the morning. And here it goes until noon. Morning, noon. And here's the sun's movement downward to afternoon. And here's night, and finally, midnight. Afternoon, night, midnight. Now you will be able to greet people by signing good. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night.
Hello again. In this part, we'll join Mrs. Perkins and her two children as they plan their vacation. You met Melanie earlier, and her older brother Tim joins us now. If you remember, Mrs. Perkins has a deaf brother, Jack. That's why the family wants to learn sign language.
Often a hearing person will know a deaf neighbor, co-worker, or family member, and that motivates learning sign language.
Well, before we go on and see where they decided to go on vacation, I want to back up a little bit. Now that you've already learned the times of day, morning, noon, and night, I want to show you the signs for meals. The easiest way is to sign eat plus the time of day. So, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's the way I sign them. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. But some people use initialized signs made like eat. So this is breakfast. I don't like that much. Lunch, I use that sometimes. And dinner, I use that too sometimes. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I'll bet you're wondering why Monique doesn't like that sign breakfast very much. Well, I don't like it either. Why? Because it's made very much like another sign that's not very nice, and I'm afraid that somebody else might misunderstand me and think I'm using another sign. That's a problem with inventing initialized signs. So, be careful and depend on deaf people to make the choices.
I think we should go camping this year for our vacation. We always go places and stay in hotels. All we do is watch TV. We could do that at home.
You know, I didn't know you were so unhappy on all our vacations, Tim.
Come on. Right?
No, it's okay. Okay, let's see if we can't find a vacation this year that pleases everyone. But first, I think we should practice our sign language while we talk about our vacation. Okay. I'll show you signs, and you can repeat them as I show you. So I guess the first question is camping or hotels?
Oh, I vote hotels, not camping.
I'd rather camp, not hotels.
Okay, all right. So if we go camping, we could see a lot of the country with mountains and valleys, rivers, the forests, a whole lot of nature. But if we stay in hotels, we can visit the city.
See, that's what I like. I like the country, the mountains, the valleys, the rivers, the forests, nature.
Oh, but you can see country, mountains, valleys, rivers, forests, and what was it? Nature from a car window. I'd rather go to a city where we can actually do something.
Okay, listen, before we make our decision, let's talk about ways to travel. All right? Airplane, train, car, ship. Oh, we could go on a cruise.
Yes.
And bicycle.
Bicycle? Oh, Mom, that's what I want. Can we go on a bicycle trip? How about that?
No, let's not. Let's take like an airplane. That's my favorite. Or a train is okay too. Or what if we went on a cruise? Then we wouldn't have to plan anything.
You know, the thing that I hate about cars is all the bad streets. Mm-hmm. Oh, and traffic. And sometimes it's hard to find parking. And then you just run out of gas.
I want to try those signs, can I? Okay. Car. Mm-hmm. Street. Traffic. Traffic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what else was there?
Gas.
Very good. Right? Okay.
Now, if we go camping, we could go canoeing. Oh, or horseback riding. Oh, now that is a compound sign made up of two signs, horse and riding a horse. So you get horseback riding.
See, that's what I want. Camping, canoeing, and horseback riding.
On the other hand, if we go to the city, we could see theater, movies. We could visit an art museum. Oh, that's another compound sign made of art and museum. Art museum.
Mom, that is for me. Theater. Is it theater?
Yes.
Okay. Theater, movies, and art museum. Not canoeing and horseback riding.
Well, before we make our decision, let me show you some of the action verbs related to travel. There's come and go. Leave, arrive, visit, travel, ride.
Come, go, leave, arrive.
Oh, and visit.
Visit, travel, and ride.
Good.
Smart.
That was a lot of vacation signs, but I think we should review a few more recreation signs.
I agree. I'll go first, and I'll show 3 musical hobbies. Piano, that's a natural mime sign. Guitar, that's a mime too. And music. Music is the same sign as song.
Okay, now my 3 choices. Magazine, like the spine of a magazine. Newspaper, that's the same sign as print and represents putting old-time hot-type letters into place for printing. And last but not least, TV. Just fingerspell the abbreviation for television. Magazine, newspaper, TV.
And I'll add 4 more. They are ticket, like having your ticket punched, and stage. That's an initialized sign showing the flat stage. And how about exercise and jog? Ticket, stage, exercise, jog.
I guess I'll finish off the hobbies with a few of my personal favorites. Play cards. See dealing the cards? Play cards. Reading books. Read is like your eyes going down the page, and book is like opening a book. And finally, dance, showing the 2 legs swaying to the music. Dance.
There are a number of ways to show plurals or more than one thing in sign language. We will review 3 ways here. The first, repetition. By making the sign more than once, it may indicate that there are more than one thing. For example, this is the sign for cat. For cats, sign cat, cat, cat. Another example might be in the sentence, plates are on the table. You would sign plate, 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 moving the hands a little each time to indicate placement. Plates are on the table. Another way of forming plurals is by adding a sign to indicate quantity after the noun. Some quantity signs might be a number like 2 or 20, or many, all, horde. For example, frogs many. Here is a sentence. Squirrels eat the bird food. For squirrels, I signed squirrel and horde to indicate a lot of them. Did you notice my facial expression? Facial expression is an important part of the information. And a third way of indicating plurals is by pointing to the imaginary things. Pointing is the same as the sign for there. For the plural of cow, you might sign cow, there, there, there. Here's a sentence. Cars, there, 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 parked in front of my house.
Well, to make this program complete, we should learn some signs about time. First, let me show you signs about the clock itself. This is time. You can sign that for the whole sentence. What time is it? Time. And this is watch. And this is the sign for clock. Time, watch, clock.
Now, if you imagine that my hand is the same as the face of the clock, watch these signs. Hour. See, the minute hand goes around the face of the clock. Minute and second. Second is a little smaller than minute.
And you can't tell time without knowing the signs for numbers. Here are the numbers up to 10. With your palm facing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now turn your hand, and with your palm facing back, you can sign the numbers through 15. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Now, let me review 1 through 15. Palm forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Palm back. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Now remember, this is the sign for 10. To sign 16, you sign 10 plus 6. 16. 10 plus 7, 17. 10 plus 8, 18. 10 plus 9, 19.
16, 17, 18, 19.
That's right. Now, 20 and 21 are a little harder to remember. 20, 21. For 22 and other double numbers, bounce your hand slightly to the right. 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. This is the sign for 0. So sign 3 and 0 for 30. And the same for other numbers ending in 0. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. For all of the other numbers up to 99, sign the numbers as you would say them. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 61, 64, 75.
That's a lot to remember, but it's pretty logical. But let's not stop now. Here are the signs for 100. C, like the Roman numeral for 100. Here, 200, 300, 900. This is the sign for 1,000. You can use either the bent hand or M for the Roman numeral for thousands. And here's 4,000, 6,000, 8,000. For million, you just sign 1,000 with the double movement. Million. So here's 1 million, 3 million, 5 million.
Let's look at a calendar. The weeks go across, and the sign is week. That makes sense because it goes across. A month goes down 4 weeks. The sign month goes down 2. Week, month. For year, it represents the world moving around its orbit to its original position. Year. Now that you know the basics, week, month, year, I am going to show you how to incorporate numbers into them. Let's review the numbers from 1 to 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's put the calendar and the numbers together. For example, week. That means 1 week. But if I wanted to sign 2 and weeks, there's a much more efficient way to do that. I can do it like this. 2 weeks. Neat, huh? 4 weeks. Let's try it for month. Month or 1 month. This is 2 months, 4 months. Year is just as easy. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And now I'm going to show you an even more efficient way of incorporating numbers in time. Think of where I am standing as now, and forward of me as the future, and back as past. Ready? Watch week change into a week from now, 2 weeks from now? How about last week and 3 weeks ago? You can't do that with month, but this is how it looks with year. Next year, 3 years from now, last year, 2 years ago. By doubling the movement, I can change week into weekly, month into monthly, year into annually, weekly, monthly, annually. I want to show you another way the sign language is efficient. If you want to say that you go to work every morning, so swing your arms in front of your body as if a week is passing every morning. The same movement is used for every noon, every afternoon, and every night.
Well, that's all of your sign language lessons for now. Don't forget, practice what you've learned as often as possible.
Yes, and if possible, try to use your signs with deaf people. And remember, this is just the beginning. You are just getting started in sign language.